So I once again redraw the same diagram. Okay, and activity A is represented with the time duration below the arrow. Yeah, so time duration I obtained from the table given for activity A 20, activity B 24, activity C 12, activity B 10, activity E 16, F also 16, and G is 24, H is 20, I is 16, J is 12, K is 14. Then I gave node number also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I gave the noding number also. Okay. So now the first part of our work is completed. That is, for the given data, we try to draw network diagram based upon activity on arrow. Okay. So now what's the next part is we need to try to identify the total duration taken to complete this particular network diagram for this particular project. Okay. For that, we need to know earliest starting time, earliest finishing time, latest starting time, and latest finishing time, which I already explained. Okay. Okay. So we can begin. If we consider node 1 to activity A, okay. So we are here we are having earliest occurrence time and latest occurrence time. So we can proceed with that. So we can going to find the total estimated duration. Okay. So for activity A, when we begin with a node 1, how much early the particular activity A can begin in the corresponding node 1 as 0. Okay. 0 plus the time duration of particular activity A is the completion earliest finishing time. That is, we can name it as 20. Yeah. Same way when we calculated for activity B for node 1 to 3, how much early the particular activity can begin is 0. Yeah. Then 0 plus 24. 24 is the completion time of activity B at the node 3. Okay. Okay. Next we can go here. When we consider activity G, the earliest starting time of earliest occurrence time of node 2 is 20. Yeah. So for node 7, the earliest completion is 20 plus 24, that is 44 will come. But since this particular node is having 2 more activity, we can put this 44 in a waiting list. Okay. We can calculate like from 3 to 4. For activity C, the node can early start with 24, and 24 plus 12, 36 is the earliest completion time of activity C in the event 4, node 4. Clear? 36. Yeah. Next is 36 plus 16, 52 will come. Where for node 5, 54 will, sorry, 52 will come. 52 will come. We can put it in the waiting list because one more node is there, like F is there. So 20 plus 16, that is 36. In the node 5, there are 2 activities are merging. One activity time duration is 52. 52 is the earliest completion time, and 36 is the another completion time. So which one we have to choose is 52, the greatest. Why? Because it is the earliest possible time. When we look the definition of the earliest starting time, earliest finishing time, it's the earliest possible time with which the activity can be completed. So the possible time is 52. Okay. Okay. When you consider the activity 24 plus 10, that is 34 will come, but still activity I is there, that is 52 plus 16, that is 68 will come, right? So which one we have to choose? The maximum one, 68. So I'm choosing 68. When we go for node number 7, we are having 3 numbers of activity. For activity G, the value is 44. For activity H, 52 plus 20, that is 72. 72 will come. Then 68 plus 12, 80 will come. Right? So we have to choose the maximum value. 80 is the possible earliest finishing time. Then for activity K, 80 plus 14, 94. Okay. So the total duration of 94 is the earliest possible completion of the particular activity. Okay. So the way of calculating from the starting node to ending node, that is from left to right, this way of calculating based upon earliest start. Okay, how much early my activity can be started. So based upon the earliest start, calculation is known as forward pass. Forward pass. Yeah. Next our calculation is latest occurrence time. How much late my activity can be occurred. So we have to calculate from the end to start. Okay. So now we are going to calculate backward pass. Backward pass. So how this particular activity K having node 8, the maximum late we can complete this particular node is 94 only, say. Okay. Then 94 minus 14, again it will come 80 for node 7. Next is from 7, we are having 3 activity. When we consider activity J, that is 80 minus 12, 68 will come. Okay. When we go for H, 80 minus 20, 70 is there. 70 is there, but what's the problem is, again, I activity is also depending on the node 5. So we can wait, not 70. Okay. Now, activity H. If you go for activity H, actually the node 5 is depending on I also. Okay. So we have to wait for it. Anyhow, we can do the calculation. 80 minus the duration, we have 60. So we can put 60 into the waiting list, and from here 68 minus 16. 68 minus 16, it will come 52. 52. So we got 2 duration, that is 60 and 52. Which one we have to choose is the minimum one, because in the forward pass, when we calculate earliest possible time, so we have to take the maximum value. When we go to the backward pass, latest finishing time we are calculating, so we have to choose the minimum value. Yeah, so 60 or 52, 52 is the value, so 52 for node 5. Okay, next we go for activity G from node 2 to 7. 80 minus 24, we will get 56. 56. One more activity is there corresponding with F, that is 52 minus 16. 52 minus 16, that is 36. So for F and G, 56 and 36 are there, so we have to choose the minimum value 36. So here we choose 36 as the latest finishing time. Then 52 minus 16, again here it will come 36. Then 68 minus 10, actually 58 will come. Then 36 minus 12, we will get 24. Okay, we have to choose the minimum value, so again 24 will come. Yeah. Then 24 minus 24, 0 will come. 36 minus 20, 16 will come. So we have to choose the least value. So let's see. Now backward pass calculation is also over. Okay. So in the forward pass we calculate based upon early starting time, and in the backward pass we calculate based upon latest finishing time. So I can explain this process. Kindly note down the blue color values. Okay, that is forward pass. Forward pass we begin with earliest starting time and earliest finishing time. How much earliest the activity can begin? Activity A can begin at 0, and activity A can be earliest finished by 0 plus 20, 20. Clear? Now this 20 is the earliest starting time of activity. Earliest finishing time of activity A, and it is the earliest starting time of activity F and G. Understand? Same way, for if you're considering activity B, earliest starting time is 0, earliest finishing time is 24. But for activity C and D, this is earliest starting time. But when we consider activity B, this is earliest finishing time. Okay, so with the help of earliest starting and earliest finishing, we calculated till the end of an activity. And when the merging nodes are coming, please be aware, each and every activity have their different values. We have to choose the maximum value when we calculate for the forward pass. Okay, so after completing this activity, we need to calculate backward. This is latest finishing time. How much late my activity can be finished without getting delay with respect to the total duration, that is 94. So 94 minus 14, you will get 80. It means how much late you can start the activity K. How much late you can start the activity K is 80. Okay, but when we consider with J, H and G, 80 is the latest finishing time. But for K, this is the latest starting time. Okay, so when we go for J, activity J has to be lately finished by 80. 80 minus 12, you can get 68. That is latest starting time of activity J is 68. But the same 68 is the latest finishing time of activity I. Clear? Same way, each and every activity will come. So be careful on the junction where these nodes are merging. You will get 2 or 3 or 4 types of duration. In that particular duration, you have to take the least value when we calculate the backward pass. Okay. So now the time duration has been calculated. It's over. Now you can see in some location the both the times are similar. For example, 0, 0 same. 24 comma 24 same, 36 comma 36 same, 52 comma 52 same, 68 comma 68 same, 80 comma 80 same, 94 comma 94 same. But here it is different. 20 comma 36, it is different. Clear? So so this is like the difference between latest finishing time and earliest finishing time, or latest starting time and earliest starting time. If this is equal to 0, then what it means, the total float is equal to 0 there. Okay, so we can connect those activities. From 1 to 3, then 3 to 4, then 4 to 5, then 5 to 6, then 6 to 7, and 7 to 8. Yeah, 1 3 4 5 6 7 8. Got it? So we connected all the a possible link where we are having the difference between the latest and earliest, or latest start and early start, as 0, or we can connect the values which are having both the time duration are having same time duration. We are trying to connect the link. So this particular link is known as critical activity. That is 1 1 3 3 4 4 5 5 6 6 7 7 8. So this path is known as critical path. Okay, so this is the longest path in this particular network. Got it? So we need to be very careful. What is the physical meaning of this particular critical path is that we have to complete the activity in the prescribed duration. Otherwise, what will happen? The end duration, that is the total time schedule, may get changed. So we need to give much more important in this particular critical path. So each critical path having different activities. These activities are known as critical activity. You need to be very concerned with the critical activity. Now we need to fill the earliest starting time, earliest finishing time, latest starting time, latest finishing time, total float, free float, and independence float for this particular diagram. Okay, so you can verify the diagram and you can make it. For example, earliest starting time of activity A is, we know, 0. Yes, and earliest finishing time of activity A is 20. Yes. Yep. Next is latest finishing time. Latest finishing time of activity A is 36. So latest starting time is 36 minus 20, that is 16. Clear? The next step is to calculate total float, free float, and independent float. So total float formulas, that is a difference between latest finishing and earliest finishing. Otherwise, the latest starting and earliest starting. Okay. You can see the latest finishing and earliest finishing time of activity A. What is the latest finishing time of activity A? It is 36. 36 is the latest finishing time, right? What is the earliest finishing time? Earliest finishing time is 20. Am I right? Yes. And if you go for earliest starting and latest starting, earliest starting is 0 and latest starting time is we know like latest finishing time, that is 36. 36 minus duration, that is 60. Okay, so if you put this value, like latest finishing time is 36, earliest finishing time is 20, so the difference is you will get 16. And latest starting time is earliest starting time is 0 and latest starting time is 36 minus 20, that is 16. Again it will come 16. So both the values are same as per the formula. So you can calculate that from here itself. You have earliest starting time here, earliest finishing time here, latest starting time here, and latest finishing time here. Yeah. So the total float is 16. Okay. Next is, so TE of j minus earliest finishing time. TE of j for activity A is, for activity A, 1 and 2 is the node and 2 is the j location. And the earliest occurrence time of activity A is 20. Yeah. Same way, earliest finishing time of activity A is also 20. So 20 minus 20, that is, it will come 0. Clear? Next is independent float. Independent float formula is earliest occurrence time of j minus latest occurrence time of I, that is TE of j minus TL of I, the whole bracket minus the total duration, that is T of ij, or you can simply mention D. Okay, so it is also equal to earliest finishing time minus latest starting time. Okay, so if you put this formula, we can refer this TE of j. TE of j for activity A, j is 20, TE of j is 20. Okay, TE of j is 20 and TL of I, it means latest occurrence time of I is node 1. I is node 1, that is 0. Yeah, minus the total duration is 20. So finally it will come with 20 minus 20, that is equal to 0. And you can refer in terms of earliest finishing time minus latest starting time. Earliest finishing time is 20, we already know, minus latest starting time is 0. Total minus duration is 20 actually, 20. So it will become 0. Okay. So it instead of going every time and referring the diagram, you can get the value from the earliest starting time, earliest finishing time, and latest starting time and latest finishing time from this particular table itself, and you can calculate the float. So similarly, for each and every activity, we need to fill the values. So when we calculate each and every float as per the formula, finally you will get this value. Kindly try this problem, and if you are not getting anything, kindly let me know.